thought we got off to a good start. And obviously it was an amazing environment in there.
You know, what a neat atmosphere, you know, what a great atmosphere that is back, you know, is back at Pitt.
And I thought we fed off of it early, and then we went through a stretch where we couldn't score. And in order to beat a team like Duke, you have to score. You know, it's my alma mater, it's a place that I love, it's people that I love on that bench. It's a coach that means the world to me. It's a man that means the world to me.
Obviously, in the last 7 years, he's been a part of us sustaining excellence, and he knows it's a day-to-day fight, no matter what level, if you want to be really good. So I think you all are lucky to have him. He's lucky to be here because Pitt had a great brand that needed to be reignited.
One of the great things about tonight was seeing the Pitt like that. That was really cool. And so I think that's a big step in the direction for our program. Obviously, it's great to have the greatest rapper ever in your arena and one of the world's greatest entertainers. So it's pretty cool.
He and the staff have done a great job of building great camaraderie and belief in one another. So they play as one.
We have to be united, and we got to do it for each other. Let's go do it. Here we go.
And they go to their strengths. What they lack in depth and experience, they make up for in grit, togetherness, and really tough play. Every game I watched them in, you know, they played hard the whole time. That's what I would expect from Jeff's team.
But we have to really, really minimize our mistakes and do the little things at a very high level and not get tired of it, not get bored with the little things, to understand for every second how important they are. I like that we kept fighting, but again, it wasn't enough today. Hopefully we can learn some things from it and move on to the next play.
It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
we make history today in Pittsburgh
that will embrace and push, a hunger for excellence, and to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
This week on Pitt Beyond the Script, we take a look at the work behind the scenes that goes into helping our student athletes achieve the gold standard. We're with the Pitt baseball and softball teams as they prepare for the season. We're in the community with members of the Pitt wrestling and track and field team as they spend some time at a local school to honor Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We hear from coaches and a member of the Kathy and John Pelusi Family Life Skills Program on how they're preparing Pitt student athletes for life. We'll see another side of one of Pitt wrestling's standout performers, Demetrius Thomas, a tribute to another of our Panther Hall of Fame inductees. And it's draft day with the Pitt softball team as they welcome a very special new Panther to the family. This week on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Thank you and good evening, Panther friends, fans, and family. Today, January 21st, 2019, marks a day in history for the Panthers softball program. Today is about Riley. This amazing young teenager is being drafted into a championship program, which is a perfect match, if you ask me.
I
simply can't say thank you enough. If I allowed myself to break down, you'd see me cry. That would be my thank you. But that's truly the only way I can think of to say thank you. We will never be able to repay Pitt, the girls on this softball team, Team Impact. We'll never be able to repay it.
I can't explain how much this means to me. I never thought you'd have this opportunity. I'm excited to be your teammate.
It takes our mind and it takes our humanity level to a different place, and it allows us to just really rejoice in the fact that when we come together as a squad, we are just brilliant young women.
I can speak on behalf of the whole team to say that we are honored to welcome you into our family.
And watching them facilitate, execute, and then celebrate a day like this is it's just remarkable. It's touching, and it's just not only what we can do for Riley, but more so what Riley is going to do for us.
I cannot wait to see the team dominate the ACC.
You guys to open up your hearts as she's going to open up hers to yours. We really appreciate it and cannot thank you enough.
H2P.
What a phenomenal world we live in, where the impossible is anything but. No matter the game, we are always playing for Pittsburgh. On the biggest stages, amplifying the quietest voices, leveraging knowledge for society's gain, the builders of the future. We empower minds. We ignite fire and soar higher. Hail to Pitt.
To be a leader in business, you need a global perspective. The strength and the reputation of the University of Pittsburgh Joseph M. Katz Graduate School of Business gives you a world of opportunity. Our Executive MBA Worldwide program is tailored to the unique needs of high-level business executives. The hands-on program will advance your career and your global network as you study on campus and abroad. Be ready to lead in a global world. Be Katz ready.
Yeah, for the student athlete to be able to give back, it's important. I think it helps them grow as people, but it also helps them value what they have a little more in life.
Being an athlete at any university it's a big role. Little kids are looking up to you. Like after matches, kids will come up to you and want to take pictures with you, and you're influencing a lot of people with your actions. So giving back to the community is a huge, huge role that I think every athlete should do at any university, and it's showing kids that you care and that you want to give back to them.
So this is the oldest grade in the building, so you're like the big dogs? Oh yeah. Daddy!
Oh, this kid is strong.
A bunch of student athletes from Pitt came to read to grade levels from 1st grade to 5th grade and share a little bit of knowledge about us and what we do as student athletes.
High school at the age 18, so you got a pretty late start on it.
I hope that they get that their education is really important. All the kids know, like James Conner, people like that are in the NFL, but they had to go to college first. So preaching that like your education is really important.
So math, it doesn't stop at the end of high school, guys.
I'm an accounting major, so that deals with a lot of like money and a lot of adding, subtraction. I use math in every one of my classes.
I know that I need to get you college ready. I'm not thinking about just 6th grade. All right, high five, high five. I want a hug. Thank you for coming.
Being a student athlete, I know that a lot of them played sports, and they've asked a ton of great questions about how you can be a college athlete, and I hope that we inspired them to keep up with their sport and get good grades in school. It's like we're some of the biggest role models for them, and even like just being here and talking to them and smiling and answering their questions, it just made a difference in them, in their day, and they'll remember that, and I think that's super important.
I'm
been coaching for 30 years, and you know, I kind of say this all the time. We have the very best life skills program in the country.
Everybody talks about how our life skills department is the largest in the country, and I think it's the best in the country, and I don't think it's even comparable.
Without a doubt, we know the Penny and the life skills team is the best in the country. And for me, that's a huge selling point.
That was one of the draws for me as a coach. I was thinking to myself, man, we got to get parents in front of these guys, and I don't think there's another school that's doing what we're doing for the entire student athlete.
We deal with student athletes in this small time, in a 4-year period of time. They're worried about student athletes for a lifetime.
Phenomenal resource for moms and dads to understand that this isn't just about baseball. This is about life. This is about going from the high school years to developing into, not to say a young adult, but an adult.
The reality is, for anyone that's ever played this game, at some point, the ball is going to stop bouncing. You hope that it stops later in life, but even if it's later, you still have a lot of life to live.
That's why we really put so much purpose and resource around these student athletes to make them as successful as they can while they're pulled in so many different directions. And that's one of the glories here at Pitt, is that those resources are just so abundant and accessible to them.
But we're thankful for John Pelusi, who's a former lineman here from Youngstown, Ohio, that became a successful businessman, and instead of giving his money back to football or to athletics, he gave it back to the life skills program because he's passionate about what we do for our football players while they're here and what they're going to do after they graduate, not just about football.
What the life skill program does is meet the athlete or the student athlete that's coming in where they're at, and then, as a high school student, work with them and then develop them through the 4 years in college to then turn them into somebody that's going to be employable, going to be a great family member.
An opportunity for your kids to grow, and for somebody else that's willing to help out, another voice that they hear besides your own and your assistant coaches.
I think we have 11 full-time members working with Penny, and to bring back our former great players here, whether it be John Pelusi Jr., Lusaka Polite, Lisa Aud does a great job up there. I mean, that whole staff up there is incredible. And Penny is fortunate enough to have the people working for him, and Penny is incredible.
The big arms, the big hand, he just wants to engulf you like the big teddy bear, but he wants you to feel at home, more importantly. So whether you're a student athlete coming from South Florida or a student athlete coming from Canada, you are part of Pitt, you're part of the Pitt script, you're part of the life skills program, you're a student athlete like he was.
I love not only what they're delivering, but the manner that they deliver is just so empowering.
A few of our guys have taken advantage of that, and they've had their careers lined up before they even graduated here. So it's pretty impressive, and they're doing a heck of a job there.
It's awesome, and it's incredibly valuable, because our job is to build these young men into men.
For me, if our girls can graduate and they can be strong, they can be independent, not afraid to ask for what they want and to go after their dreams, then we've been successful.
It's something that keeps evolving, and we've been fortunate enough to have this department that stays ahead of the curve.
Don't go away. Pitt Beyond the Script will return right after this.
So I think that doing science is a social activity. It is not an activity that is done locked in a closet thinking up great thoughts, but it's done with teams and colleagues and working together with people.
The things you don't get means that either you don't have peptides or they're low abundance.
They get to be at the bench, shoulder to shoulder with other people in the lab, professors, faculty, graduate students, postdoctoral researchers. They become a part of the team. What I like about rowing as a pastime and an activity is that it's very much a team activity. The types of boats that I row in have either 4 or 8 people in there, and the boats that do well, that row well and do well in competitions, are not those that necessarily have the strongest set of rowers or the technically most capable set of rowers. It's the team of rowers that learn how to row together. And that idea of working together towards a common goal and working in sync has a lot of similarities to what it feels like to work in a lab, which is well integrated, working in sync, working together towards a common goal.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
Out here for some winter workouts. 2019 season's right around the corner. Beautiful day here in Pittsburgh. Ready to go. Team goal is just take one game at a time. Looking forward to take every game. Just keep it simple. Just trust our team process.
Play left on left. Here we go. Do it again. What you looking for? Where do you want the pitch?
Outside.
So why are you going to swing at that?
I think your coaching DNA starts with where you've been, who you've worked with, and you kind of mold into who you are right now. And for me, that started back home at Florida State, but it also translated into professional baseball with the Montreal Expos and the Baltimore Orioles. Programs that you had to learn how to develop guys, the grassroots of the program and the skill work that we used to really work on. My days at the University of Tennessee, University of Oklahoma, and back to Florida State has really completely molded me as a coach, and that put me in this opportunity where I have here right now. And now, one thing I will say, you don't always know everything in the game of baseball, and you have to allow the game to continue to teach you. So even though a 15-year assistant coaching career, new head coach, you've played the game since you've been 9 years old, as we said, you are still constantly learning things day in and day out, and the game will continue to teach you as long as you allow it.
Run on third, infield back. It's amazing when you get the pitch to do it, even though it looked like a dying quail, you were able to execute what you wanted to do.
Hi, this is Mike Bell with Pitt Baseball, and you're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
Hello and welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script. Alongside Lisa Auld, the Assistant Athletic Director for Student Life, I'm Rob King, and we're here to talk about a program that I just think is phenomenal, the Kathy and John Pelusi Family Life Skills Program. We've talked a little bit about this in the past, but let's jump right in. Can you give us just sort of an overview of what it's all about?
Absolutely. So John and his wife Kathy have been kind enough to generously support this program for us. And essentially, life skills, our whole mission is to make sure that we prepare our student athletes for success during their time here and as they transition out of collegiate sports.
That has to be music to the ears of any parents or guardians of kids who are considering coming to school here.
We're really passionate about what we do. And I would say, by far the best part of what I do is being able to meet a lot of these recruits at age 17 or 18 and then seeing them 4 to 5 years later as they take on the world as young men and women.
So personal development is a big part of it. Let's kind of come down a little bit with some of these different topics.
So personal development is one key commitment area that we do a lot when we prep our student athletes. We do programs centered around freshmen transitioning to the university, and then for seniors, prepping them to transition out of the university. So specific to freshmen, our student athletes are already coming into a pre-built family with their team, but we want to get them acquainted with upperclassmen and then also leaders on campus. So really getting them connected back to campus so that they're broadening their horizons outside of athletics. And then for our seniors, we invite back forever Panthers. So our varsity letter club winners from 2 years to 30 years out, and we'll do a panel. And they really talk to our seniors about, here's something I did that really helps me transition successfully, or here's what I wish I would have done to prepare myself for success.
Now, as a parent, that's music to my ears, right? Because your biggest concern when you're sending your child off to college, they're a freshman, how are they gonna fit in? And then your other question when they're seniors is, what are they gonna do next? How are they gonna get a job? So this handles both of those big problem issues or worries, maybe I should say, for parents.
I certainly hope so. We meet with recruits of every single team. So oftentimes the coaches will bring the recruits through our department And I have to mention, we are a staff of 10. We are one of the largest life skills programs in the country. And so each of us has relationships with all the teams, some closer than others, and we'll really sit down with those recruits, their parents, their guardians, and talk to them about what we can do to help them flourish in other parts of life.
Tell me about the mentorship program.
A huge key initiative that we're working on this year is Panthers to Pros, and it is connecting current student athletes with Forever Panthers and Friends of Pitt. So we are absolutely looking for anyone that wants to get involved to help mentor a current student athlete to fulfill their personal and professional desires outside of the collegiate environment.
And there's another topic, health and well-being. How does that tie into what you're trying to do with student athletes?
So we are very proactive in really just keeping on trend with what's going on, whether it's mental or physical health. So a lot of us actually sit on a mental health task force, and we recently hired 2 in-house clinicians for mental health that we share with Western Psych. So personally, I sit on that committee and help address mental health trends and really just keeping our student athletes healthy and ready to compete.
This is an amazing separator. What you're doing, you're talking about one of the largest programs in the country that does that. I mean, it's got to be great for the coaches to go out and recruit this, but it's also got to be really rewarding for you and your staff to know that you're helping so many kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting a thank you note in the mail, or I remember the first time that I helped a student athlete prep for a job interview, and he landed that first full-time job. It felt like I interviewed for the job, so it's really rewarding in that sense.
Kathy and John Pelusi with great support for what is a terrific program.
Absolutely.
Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, stick around. We have more to come still on Pitt Beyond the Script.
You already have the initiative to get started, a desire to want more, to be challenged, to be pushed, and to be coached and mentored when you hit hurdles. The Professional MBA program at the University of Pittsburgh's Katz School of Business offers hands-on, experience-based learning through an innovative blend of online and in-person courses, allowing you to earn your MBA at your own pace, on your own schedule. Exceed your goals and see new, brighter ones for tomorrow.
What a phenomenal world we live in, where the impossible is anything but. No matter the game, we are always playing for Pittsburgh. On the biggest stages, amplifying the quietest voices, leveraging knowledge for society's gain, the builders of the future. We empower minds. We ignite fire and soar higher. Hail to Pitt.
Since the 4th grade, I've been playing violin. It really is like soothing and calming. I can mimic a lot of things, and once I saw someone do it and the different techniques it takes to play it, just mimicking it made it easier to learn. I had it in my memory, and it was just, I would just repeat it. In wrestling, and just like playing the violin, if I see someone in wrestling do something, it's easier for me to mimic, because I mean, I imagine in my head, and I don't know how to explain it, I just do it.
And a quick move for Meach, she gets control, and there's 2 for Thomas.
Wrestling for me started off very late. Like a lot of people started off when they were like 5, 6. Me, I started as a freshman in high school, and that kind of gave me a late start to actually put my name out there to even go to a D1 school, and which I didn't off the jump. I got offered a scholarship to a small NAIA school, and I injured myself the first year, had the red shirt, bounced back and performed very well, and Pitt got my attention, and so it just gave me the opportunity to come D1.
They touted Demetrius Thomas. They were happy to get him, first of all, to transfer in from Williams Baptist College in the NAIA, and now he finds himself starting in the heavyweight division for the Panthers.
Anything that I do, honestly, as a violinist or as a wrestler, I take those tasks and try to be the best at it. And so that's kind of why I take my personal performance very, I guess, serious to myself. And a lot of people say this and that, like, oh man, you're really good at this, you're really good at that, but I always keep in my mind that, like, no, I'm not, because I'm not the best in the world yet, so there's always more to prove.
We've seen quite a display by Demetrius Thomas here. Great arsenal, and I think Thomas is starting to strike some fear into wrestlers in the ACC conference and also nationally, because it's very difficult to game plan against him.
My name is Demetrius Thomas, but you can call me Meach. I'm a wrestler and a musician, and this is Pitt Beyond the Script.
We're just getting ready for the 2019 season. Woo! Getting ready, training, indoor facility, got to utilize for the space of the weather. We're just trying to make it to that ACC championship again and hopefully pull through with the win. I think we're just trying to fight with that energy and that confidence that we had building up from last year and just come through a team atmosphere and have a positive impact on this 2019 season.
I love softball because there's just so many different parts of it that relate to everyday life. Adaptability, you're an outdoor sport, you're gonna play in all kinds of different atmospheres and climates and field conditions, and that's what life is gonna bring you, just all kinds of different spheres. I love it because I love the glory of winning in a sport that says that failure is going to occupy most of your mindset. That challenge to me and to be a part of it, teach it in training, I think is just something that is unique to most sports. I think that, you know, I'm a better coach than I was an athlete. These athletes make me a better coach for all purposes intended. The people here in this athletic department and in this community are on a mission, and the mission is to be the best program, the best athletic department, the best university in the ACC and in the nation. And I think that they have the leadership coming from the top that is just one that is going to put us on the right path to accomplish all things that we want to have.
Hey, put on 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, let's get to a spot, let's go.
Hi, my name's Jody Hermanic. I'm the head softball coach for your Pitt Panthers, and you're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
It was hard to believe that this guy was 6'7" and doing things that I've seen 5'9" guards do.
Billy Knight had a very graceful style of playing.
He was as smooth as silk. I mean, it's like he was motionless.
He could do it against the best competition. To me, that's kind of a key to how great you are. One game in particular, he had 37 points at UCLA.
I'll never forget, at the end of the game, the old man, John Wooten, come walking across the court to shake Billy's hand, and one of the bystanders said he had never done that in his whole career. Never shook the hand of an opposing player.
Very quietly would go about his business. He'd end up with 25 points and 10 or 11 rebounds almost every ball game, and that was done against some of the best competition in the country.
He was definitely the superstar player on that team, but he was a very modest, humble individual.
He was the type of guy that his work ethic was there. He never missed practice, never late for practice. He ran hard. He did everything the way the coach wanted him to do it. When you're coming from high school and you see your star player doing the things, the difficult things that the coach wants done, and it makes it pretty simple for you to kind of latch on to those type of philosophies.
He showed everybody how you should act, how you should talk, how you should present yourself, you know, and I really love him, you know, because he meant so much to, not only just to me, to Western Pennsylvania basketball, period.
And I remember either Coach Whittle or Bill Hillgrove said about Billy, there are a lot of nice people in this world, but none nicer than Billy Knight.
Thank you for watching Pitt Beyond the Script.